Hey group, hope you are having a great week. Well, we had our last talk in our Thrive Vision series, and the vision is to see people thrive in Jesus as they love, live, and lead. And we looked at this last idea, lead, and what does that mean? And we looked at Jeremiah chapter 29. We kind of ended where we started. We looked at the context of how God allowed the Israelites to be carried into Babylon, away from their promised land, away from their kingdom, away from their comfort, into a land of their enemies. And they could have had different responses to the city, much the same way that churches can have responses to their city today. They, and really us, we could be against our city, and so kind of just think that we're superior and look down on our city. We could have been just in our city, and so we weren't actively engaging the city, but just kind of minding our own business. Or we could have been with the city, kind of compromising our identity and bending to the culture. And that what happens when a church chooses that, then the people in the church don't have any mission. And church just comes about going to church and feeling better or seeing my friends, but church is kind of take it or leave it. It's not important, and we're not passionate about church. But God was not calling the Israelites, and he's not calling us to be against, in, or with the city. He's calling us to be for the city. And as individuals, we need to be a part of a church that is for the city, because when we engage in community, when we engage in the city, our own needs are taken care of. That when we are planted in the church, as Psalm 92 says, we flourish. And that it's not just going to church. So many of us, we just go to church on Sundays, but we don't actively engage beyond that. And so we don't get our needs met in community. Communities help meet your need through providing safety, providing support, tangible support like healthcare, housing, education, employment, or just at church, accountability, belonging, and care. They provide life skills that your family, and yourself, you don't have all the life skills, and you need to have other mentors and coaches and teachers come around you and teach you how to do life, parenting, finances, all of those different things that families need, as well as individuals, like as growing in body, mind, and spirit. And then we need service opportunities, way to find our strengths and weaknesses, which leads me into our second point, that we find our purpose by serving in community, by taking steps of faith and figuring out where God has called us in our purpose. And then as a church, we want to be for the city. And there is a reciprocal nature to this. As we engage in the city, then God will grow us. He'll grow us individually. He'll grow our church. That when we're about his kingdom, he'll be about building our church. We don't have to worry about that. And so what are ways that we can think about being for the shalom of our city? Shalom is universal, holistic flourishing. That we looked at that it literally means peace, but not peace as in the absence of violence, but peace as in everything working well together. That when we are a church that is for the shalom of our city, it helps us to better diagnose problems. If problems are only a material need, like poverty, then we'll only respond with a material solution, and we'll all only put people in kind of a cookie cutter role because there's only one solution. But if we see the problem through the lens of shalom, we'll see that poverty is not just financial. It can be a poverty of relationships or a poverty of mindset. And so we can engage people in their own unique God-given purpose to engage the need in different ways and help people walk in their purpose. It also humbles us because then we can't look down on somebody that is financially poor because we might be poor in relationships. And so we want to be a church that is for the shalom of the city because we are a church with a mission. We're not just going to church. We're being a part of a team that is on God's mission to seek the shalom of our city, to see everything work well together in our city, to see families come together, to see lives that are broken restored and set free from chains and addictions, to see ultimately that the community would come around the family and the individual, and all three of those, the community, the family, and individual, would be working well together and be thriving in Jesus. Well, I hope you have a great discussion. I look forward to hearing how it is, and I will talk to you later. Bye.